The sunlight filtered lazily through the narrow gaps in the heavy, faded curtains, casting soft patterns of light and shadow on the cool, wooden floor beneath. It was a room touched by time, where the air felt dense with history, and the scent of old wood lingered sweetly, mingling with a faint hint of cedar. Cale sat on his knees, grounded against the welcoming, solid earth of the floor, his fingers gliding gently along the surface of a single dark floorboard. With each slow, deliberate trace, he felt the textured grain respond beneath his fingertip, as if the wood were whispering its tales to him. The quiet surrounded him like a warm embrace, amplifying the soft sound of his own breath, which echoed softly. Each stroke was a meditation, a rhythmic journey through the undulating landscape of the timber, coaxing forth its silent, ancient stories. There, in that stillness, nothing else existed but him and the wood beneath his touch. Cale's focus deepened as he found a particularly deep groove in the grain, a natural valley carved by time, his fingertip exploring this miniature landscape with unhurried precision. The touch was soft yet intentional. It evoked a sense of connection between him and the centuries that had passed through the room, like echoing footsteps that left their imprint within the wood. He paused briefly, allowing the stillness to encircle him, and inhaled the cool air, feeling it fill his lungs in a gentle wave, harmonizing with the cadence of his movements. A light breeze traced delicate fingers across his skin, whispering a symphony of calm that merged seamlessly with the warmth generated by his slow, deliberate touch. In this moment of exquisite simplicity, the outside world faded away, leaving only the dialogue between his skin and the ancient wood, a gentle melody of being that needed no words at all. As his finger glided back to the starting position, he felt the subtle warmth lingering on the polished surface where he had traced. Time seemed to stretch infinitely as he repeated the motion, each pass feeding into the other like a loop that spiraled into relaxation. He could observe the interplay of light and shadow dance softly across his hand, a living canvas that mirrored the gentle movement of his fingertips. The sound of his breath, soft and rhythmic, filled the space around him, a reassuring reminder of his presence amidst the stillness. Cale's forehead relaxed and his shoulders softened as he surrendered completely to the soothing ritual, allowing his body to meld into the calmness of the moment. Here, he discovered serenity within the simplicity of the gradual strokes. The whispering would lend a timelessness to his quietude, anchoring him into the peace of this singular existence, utterly unhurried and beautifully suspended. In the heart of the chamber of still waters, Cale sat cross-legged upon a rush-mat cushion, the woven texture cradling him in a firm yet gentle embrace. The dark, polished wood beneath him shimmered softly, reflecting the warm glow of the single lantern that flickered quietly in the corner, its flame a slow dance of tranquility. As he settled deeper into his position, the gentle weight of his linen trousers flowed around his legs, the fabric whispering softly against his skin with each subtle shift of his body, inviting him to surrender to the quietude of the room. Above him, shadows played delicately across the plaster walls, which absorbed the light, transforming it into a calming haze that diffused the edges of the chamber into soft surrender. In this poised stillness, the only sound was the muted rhythmic pulse of his breathing. It moved like a gentle tide within this sanctuary of solitude. Within the stillness of the chamber, Cale's grey eyes drifted to the Shoji screen that stood beyond him, its delicate lattice filtering the faint glow into a dance of soft shadows. The screen's paper held traces of the indigo night outside, a velvet darkness that blended seamlessly with the atmosphere within. As he focused on the intricate patterns, there was a sense of weightlessness for his thoughts, as if they were merging with the flowing lines, suspended in time. Breathing slowly, he felt the gentle rise and fall of his chest, the cotton of his shirt moving softly against him. With each inhale, a slight warmth bloomed around his heart, and as he exhaled, it spread gently throughout his body, a wave of serenity washing over. The stillness embraced him, every sensation wrapped in layers of calm and quietude, reinforcing the sanctuary surrounding him. The ambience of the chamber of still waters deepened, a womb-like enclosure of silence that caressed the senses. Cale felt the rush mat beneath him cradle his form, the earthiness of the fibers a grounding connection to the space that surrounded him. His shoulders relaxed fully, allowing gravity to take its course, the sensation of weight a reminder of his presence. Here and now, outside, the night murmured through the paper of the Shoji screen, a soft whisper that resonated with his very being, instilling a sense of belonging in this sacred stillness. He remained a figure of serene neutrality, breathing in the faint scent of polished wood and lingering remnants of twilight. Each exhale unfurled into the room, mingling with the shadows as they danced softly, time stretching infinitely in this realm where nothing but the essence of tranquility existed, inviting all thoughts to drift away slowly. One by one, the man sat cross-legged on the polished wooden floor, his linen trousers softly pooling around him, absorbing the warmth of the room. His fingers glided gently across the surface before him, tracing the natural grain of the timber, feeling each tiny rise and fall as it led him into a space of pure sensation. Each stroke was deliberate, his hand moving thoughtfully, as if sculpting the air from the warmth rising off the wood. The lantern beside him flickered softly, casting a warm, golden hue that danced lightly across the floorboards, illuminating the shadows that melted softly into the walls. Silence enveloped him, wrapping him in a cocoon of stillness, where time felt suspended as he lost himself in the moment. And in this tranquil passage, He began to perceive the nuance of texture beneath his fingers. A world where only the sensation of wood against skin harmonized within the glow of the gentle light. His thoughts drifted softly, like autumn leaves carried by a gentle breeze, as he became aware of something new resting on the floor, almost imperceptible, delicately glistening in the lantern's glow. His fingers paused mid-journey, mere inches from the tiny speck, feeling the air thicken with curiosity, yet remaining anchored in the soothing rhythm of breath and presence. It was a minute detail against the dark wood, reflecting a crystalline glint that hinted at a secret, drawing attention without demanding it. The silence around him felt richer, layered like the soft, inviting fabric of a well-worn blanket. Here, in this cocoon of tranquility, he existed with only this slight revelation occupying the vast landscape of his mind, where none of life's hurried thoughts intruded. It was simply a moment unrushed, unchallenged, a gentle question mark that lingered expectantly in the still, serene atmosphere of the room. With a fluid grace, he allowed his awareness to expand, gently enveloping the tiny speck as his mind remained still. A tranquil lake. Here, the entire room seemed to settle into a deeper hush, cradling the speck of light at its center. His breath fell into a slow pattern, synchronized with the flickering light, as he remained in a state of serene neutrality, unmoved by the unfolding mystery. The wooden floor beneath him felt cool yet welcoming, anchoring him in an embrace of natural simplicity. Soft shadows played across the walls, swirling rhythmically like smoke, enhancing the feeling of suspended time. In this cocoon of warmth, the speck remained, a silent testament to the beauty of minutiae, inviting him to linger in this tranquil awareness. There was nothing else, nothing but the stillness, the gentle glow, and the rich connection with the textured wood beneath him, urging him deeper into a calm embrace. He leaned forward, movement fluid as if he were part of the very air surrounding him. His posture was a gentle bow, a surrender to the quietude that enveloped the room, his breath stilling in the depths of his chest. The coolness of the wooden floor beneath him invited his attention, grounding him in this tranquil moment. As his face, soft and serene, approached the surface, he noticed a small, pale fiber curled like a whisper of something long forgotten. It lay upon the dark expanse of the wood, perfect in its stillness, offering an invitation to observe. In this suspended space, he held his breath, absorbing the silence. This was not an act of analysis, but a communion with the simple beauty of existence, a patient celebration of what lay at his feet, as if he were a mountain witnessing a solitary cloud rise and drift in the sky above. As he remained poised in this intimate exploration, the air shifted slightly, with a grace that felt borrowed from the softest sigh. Another fiber, identical yet distinct, drifted down, cascading silently beside the first. Thus, the gentle act unfolded a subtle gift from the atmosphere, as though nature, too, held its breath. He watched, rooted in stillness, as if his very essence were woven into the fibers, appearing like a peaceful snowfall on the hallowed ground of the floor. Each new arrival settled into the silent wood with such lightness, harmonizing with the dark surface, an echo of elegance in a world otherwise unremarkable. It was here, in this soft emergence, that he found a connection to something larger, a gentle reminder of the serenity that exists in waiting, in being, and in simply observing the dance of tiny miracles. Lost within this unfolding moment, he felt the fibers continue their tranquil descent, each one a fragment of the universe's poetry, draping the floor in a delicate tapestry of white. Another floated down, and then yet another, transforming the hard surface into a map of ethereal beauty, a constellation of quiet wonders gathering before him. He marveled at the soft way they landed, untouched by the rush of existence, as if they were remainders of a dream spilling from the cosmos above. His gaze lingered, drawn deeper into this stillness, and it felt as though time held its breath, suspended in the delicate balance of presence and serenity. In this sacred pause, he embraced the essence of patience, allowing the moment to expand without rush, drifting in a sea of tranquility that wrapped around him like a warm embrace, offering solace in what was simply there, unfolding before his still eyes. His gaze drifted ever so slowly from the dark wooden floor upwards, tracing the imagined pathway of the delicate fibers that caught the warm glow of the room's soft light. With each gradual rise, the large Shoji screen captured his attention, revealing its paper, astonishingly ancient. The golden illumination revealed the surface's imperfection, a fine, almost velvety texture, where countless microscopic strands lifted gently from the paper, the remnants of time suspended in quiet surrender. The inside air was perfectly still, a cocoon of tranquility, yet beneath this stillness lay a hidden breath, an invisible rhythm that stirred gently. The cool night air, resting just outside, coaxed the fibers slowly, patiently releasing them from their home, inviting them to float in time, as if they were weightless whispers in a serene lullaby, echoing the night's tender embrace. His focus remained anchored to the Shoji screen, the fleshy warmth of the room enveloping him like a comforting blanket. He could sense the air shift ever so slightly, a gentle, almost imperceptible movement that cradled him in its embrace, bringing with it the faintest hint of dust from the aged fibers. Each breath felt synchronized with the whisper of the room, an almost meditative rhythm that allowed him to exist completely in this moment. The texture of the air felt laden with softness, as if time had slackened its taut grip. each suspended second echoing the lull of a distant, tranquil melody. The coolness from the outside brushed against the thin barriers of the shoji, teasing the ancient surface, causing a barely perceptible flutter. In this moment, the world simplified, reducing itself to softness and subtle warmth, a gentle cocoon where every entity was invited to unwind slowly into stillness. As he continued to admire the aged craftsmanship of the shoji, he felt the gentle pull of gravity, grounding him in place, linking him to the here and now. The seams of his linen trousers felt cool against his skin, the fabric whispering soft stories as he shifted slightly within the silence, each minuscule adjustment almost imperceptible. The tranquility expanded in waves, steady and rhythmic, the very essence of peace radiating through every fiber of his being. Outside, the night deepened, cocooning the world in a comforting cloak, while inside, time melted away, surrendering to the stillness that enveloped him in a warm embrace. The unhurried moment wrapped itself around him, where the only sounds were the lingering breaths of the evening and the soft coaxing of tiny fibers, both drifting apart and drawn together in a gentle exchange of serenity. In the dim embrace of the chamber of still waters, the gentle warmth of an unseen sun spilled through the narrow gaps of old wooden beams. Light, soft yet persistent, bathed the room in a golden glow that lingered on all surfaces, illuminating the slow dance of dust motes suspended in the air. The man, with his relaxed posture, felt the grain of the worn wooden floor beneath him, a smoothness acquired over countless days of silent witness. He breathed deeply, drawing in the faint, earthy scent of aged wood and thyme, and as he exhaled, he surrendered to the calm that enveloped him. Each breath harmonized with the room's heartbeat, a rhythm of existence woven into every fiber of the space around him. It was a moment unburdened by urgency, where time melted away into a comforting haze, wrapping him in a cocoon of serenity. His gaze fell upon the fragile sheets of paper scattered across a modest table, their edges curling with age, each whispering tales of time's tender embrace. With a deliberate grace, he reached out, letting his fingers glide over the delicate surface, feeling the soft texture beneath his touch as if the paper itself was breathing, releasing whispers of the past. Every subtle brush of his fingertips sent soft ripples of sensation through his being, anchoring him in this sacred space. The air was still, thick with the comforting scent of antiquity, and he felt the gentle thrum of life weaving through the fibers of the room, inviting him deeper into its quiet secrets. In this moment, all was at peace. There were no disturbances, only the soft murmur of decay and rebirth, echoing softly within him as his awareness floated. As he withdrew his hand, the air shifted ever so slightly, a fleeting reminder of the connection he had cultivated with the room. He turned to face the still waters of the chamber, their surface a perfect mirror reflecting the quiet introspection that settled like a gentle fog around him. The man's grey eyes, calm and clear, absorbed the serene view. The stillness of the water seemed to cradle his thoughts, inviting him to merge with its clarity. With each moment that drifted by, he felt himself becoming more attuned to the chamber's timeless rhythm, his heartbeat syncing with the tranquil pulse of the environment. It was an unhurried passage into in-between, a moment suspended in quietude, where his very essence felt intertwined with the essence of the room, creating a profound sense of belonging amidst the slow decay of life's inexorable march. With a soft exhale, Cale settled onto the plush meditation cushion, its earthy tones melding seamlessly with the serene ambience of the room. The afternoon light filtered in through the gentle drapes, casting a warm, dappled glow that floated serenely over the worn wooden floor. Cale inhaled deeply, filling his lungs with the faint, earthy scent of the fibers beneath him, a scent that conjured images of forests and distant mountain paths. His dark hair, tied back loosely, swayed slightly as he turned his head to observe the tiny constellation of fibers on the floor, now part of the room's landscape, a tapestry woven into his tranquil surroundings. There was a hush, a stillness that blanketed the air, as if the world was holding its breath, allowing him to feel every nuance of texture beneath him, every fiber of his being relaxing into the calmness of the moment. Slowly, Cale lowered his hand toward the familiar groove of the floorboard, the cool wood inviting an exploration that was both intimate and sacred. His finger began to trace the contours of the wood, yet the speed of his motion had transformed into a languorous dance, as if he were gliding through thick, soothing honey. Each stroke pressed lightly against the grain, drawing out a rich tapestry of sensations, each texture whispering stories of age and presence. The world outside faded into a dreamy vapor, becoming nothing more than an echo of familiarity near him. He felt the wood's connection to the air surrounding him, each breath merging with the sturdy, yet tender element beneath his fingertips, finding a symbiosis amid stillness, merging heartbeats with the rhythm of time itself, unhurried and infinite. In this tranquil communion, Cale allowed his thoughts to drowse, surrendering to the nearly imperceptible cadence of his breath, now as slow and steady as the weight of his hand on the wood. The motion of his fingers had evolved into a feather-light caress, reverent and achingly gentle, as if he were skimming the surface of the delicate paper of a cherished book. Each subtle change in the wood beneath him became a bridge, a connection that reached from the essence of the grain to the tender spaces in the air, drawing him deeper into the suspended moment. Time trickled away like droplets of water, and with each stroke, he basked in an unfolding world where sensations lingered, the soft warmth of the sun mixing with the dulcet echoes of silence. revealing the soul of the room around him, where he, too, had become an integral part of this peaceful habitat. In the dim light of the chamber of still waters, the air hung thick with a whispering silence, as though the very room breathed alongside him. His fingers, slender and delicate, glided over the smooth wooden surface, creating a soft sound that resonated, echoing the gentle exhale of the unseen breath of the space. Each stroke was a word spoken in a language only he could understand, a rhythm of intimacy shared between man and environment. Gradually, as he surrendered to this tender connection, he felt the fibers of the wood yield to his touch, the energy of his heart pulsing through the very texture of the grain. Time melted away, the boundaries between himself and the chamber blurring until they became one, both cradling one another in an embrace of profound tranquility. His breath, slow and rhythmic, joined the quiet song of the room, a steady pulse that drew him deeper into this moment of stillness. It felt as if the air itself wrapped around him, warm and inviting, as every exhalation mingled with the memories of those wooden walls and their stories. The linen of his trousers brushed softly against his legs, the fabric merging with the ambience, creating a cocoon of serenity where not a single thought dared to disrupt the blissful quiet. With each inhalation, he was aware of the scent of the room, a rich tapestry of wood and earth, grounding him in an essence that felt timeless. This suspended moment unfolded endlessly, like a whisper held too long in the quiet, allowing him to dissolve further into the stillness. In this sacred space, he and the chamber were interconnected, each breath a shared promise of peace, an invitation to drift further into that gentle expanse of calm. The sunlight, filtering through the high windows, created patches of warmth that caressed his skin, grounding him further in this shared existence. A subtle sensation flowed through him as the gentle interplay of light and shadow wove a delicate pattern across the wood, inviting his heart to synchronize with its pulse. He could feel the weight of the moment settling like leaves on still water, as the rhythmic softness of his surroundings began to envelop him deeper, leading him to a state of unity, where breathing together felt like a sacred ceremony. All was still, cradled in the embrace of tranquility, as time faded like the light within the chamber. The warm flicker of the lantern gently illuminated the room, casting soft shadows that danced lightly across the wooden walls, their secrets whispering in the silence. In the midst of this serene sanctuary, his finger came to rest in the slight indentation of the weathered tabletop, the smooth texture beneath providing a calming anchor to his stillness. A sigh of contentment escaped his lips as he immersed his awareness deeper into the rhythm of his breath, which flowed in and out with the ease of a gentle tide lapping at a sandy shore. His hands, flat against the cool wood, held the weight of the world absent from his mind, as he embraced the enveloping stillness. molecules of his thoughts dissolving into the warm air. With each long exhale, he welcomed a luxurious softness all around, calming his muscles, surrendering to the spell of rest. Shadows of his brow softened further, surrendering to the embrace of tranquility as he settled into this moment, where everything else faded into the background, waiting patiently beyond this calm horizon. The rhythmic rise and fall of his chest synchronized with the flickering light, creating a soothing lull that drifted across the room like a soft melody. As he leaned forward ever so slightly, the warm fabric of his cotton shirt cradled his skin, a gentle whisper against his torso, settling him deeper into the embrace of the evening. The air was thick with the soothing scent of aged wood, blending softly with the subtle notes of earth, calming and grounding him in that moment. Each inhale carried the warmth of the lantern's glow closer, pushing away the remnants of the day, while each exhale released tension into the ether, allowing him to melt further into this cocoon of sanctuary. The world outside, a distant echo, was gently silenced by the comfort of this simple solitude as he allowed gravity to ground him, appreciating the weight of his body surrendering to the moment in peaceful stillness, a tranquil refuge from the endless possibilities beyond. As the stillness enveloped him entirely, his grey eyes remained fixed on an unseen point, losing themselves in an endless horizon of quietude. The soft glow of the lantern flickered subtly, casting a rhythmic pattern that beckoned him into a deeper state of relaxation. Each flicker a gentle invitation to let go of the world outside. His muscles, once burdened by the day's activities, finally relaxed, the tension melting from his jawline and shoulders in perfect synchrony with the pulse of his breath, deeply anchoring him to the moment. Time lost its meaning as he floated weightlessly in this sanctuary of warmth, where the fabric of his shirt and the cool wood beneath were the only sensations anchoring him to reality. In this haze of perfect calm, he was a solitary figure in a vast sea of tranquility, lovingly cradled by the soft embrace of the present, drifting ever so slowly towards the inviting shore of restful sleep, where dreams beckoned gently. In the quiet expanse of the chamber of still waters, the warm, golden glow of the paper lantern cast a tender light, blurring softly at its edges as if reluctant to disturb the surrounding darkness. This delicate illumination enveloped Cale, transforming him into a mere silhouette, a still mountain among the serene shadows. The night air lay heavy with a blanket of silence. Each breath thrummed with an echo of tranquility, a soothing presence that seemed to cradle the space. The fibers of the floor were indistinct now, swallowed by the dusk, leaving only the faintest hint of texture beneath him. Cool and inviting, time stretched infinitely, the seconds unfurling like petals of tranquility, as he settled into the cocoon of serenity. Here, darkness did not breed fear, but comfort. allowing the stillness to nestle deeper into the contours of his mind, drawing him into a restful heart of peace. As the lantern flickered gently, its golden hue painted soft patterns on Cale's relaxed form, lingering on the textured linen of his trousers. The fabric, light and warm against his skin, seemed to meld with him, creating a sense of unity with the space around. He felt every thread as a gentle reminder of his groundedness. The very essence of the present moment wrapped him like a comforting embrace. The stillness of the air hung quietly, punctuated only by the soft rhythm of his unhurried breath, filling the room with an exquisite silence. With each exhale, the weight of the world fell softly away, like invisible feathers drifting to the ground, inviting even deeper peace. In this chamber, time faded softly, nearly forgotten, as the light glowed and the shadows danced, caressing the corners of his consciousness with warmth and acceptance. Within this sacred space, as silence thickened around him, Cale felt the very essence of stillness settling deep within, an anchoring calm that felt eternal. His grey eyes, calm and serene beneath a placid brow, remained half-closed, focusing on the gentle glow surrounding him. The world outside receded, becoming a distant whisper, leaving only the soft enveloping sensation of warmth and light in its wake. Each breath drew in the peace woven into the fabric of the night, every inhalation expanding the comfort within his chest, while exhaling all remnants of restlessness. The air was sweet and soft with the scent of earth after rain, grounding him deeper into his seated form. This moment stretched with great tenderness, as if the universe conspired to hold him in this cocoon of tranquility, gently whispering that all was well, encouraging a dissolving surrender to the blissful quiet, before finally fading into the depths of night.